We're Marianne and Chris, and we've been travelling full-time since 2018.
We're currently spending a few weeks in the country of Georgia.
A country with fantastic mountain views, crazy roads, and even crazier driving.
You can't see! What is that?
And let's not forget unusual architecture, delicious food, and cows on the road.
Good morning. Well, we had a nice night's sleep here last night. It was really quiet. It was a bit hard to find a place last night. We were driving down the main road with the valley, with the hills either side, and there wasn't really any park-ups. And then we came across this place, which has been really good. We're surrounded by hills and woods with the river behind. With all the hills and the thing. Oh. That'll be another shotgun going off.
One thing we've noticed coming from rural UK is the animals tend to be penned in and the crops are just in fields. Where here in Georgia it's the other way round. The crops are all penned in and securely gated, and the animals just free range and roam around.
Here's proof that the cows are wandering down the streets.
But I suppose you don't need to then worry about food or feeding the animals because they're just grazing everywhere.
Yeah, see, what I can't figure out is how does the farmer know where his cows are, because they just walk down the road. They're just free. How do you ever find them again? They are tags. They've got little tags in the ears.
Maybe cows don't roam as far as we thought they would.
I don't know. Any farmers out there know that one? We just thought we'd wander down and have a little look at the river. There it is. And that's the road we drove down last night in the valley.
It's very, very peaceful. The grass and the greenery is so lush. There is a lot of rain and water here.
Today we're going to go and drive a little bit further east towards Tbilisi to the town or city of Gori, which is about an hour and a half's drive away. There's a little corner shop. Just get some milk for the road. Have you got milk?
You got milk?
Oh, no milk.
Okay. Mad lover.
Mad lover. Mad English. Have you got any milk? That's how Marianne communicates. It worked. He just said,
I can't learn every language in every country we go to, but my sign language is incredible.
Right, shall we, let's go to Gori.
Before we go, I need to what3word it because the Patreons, I'm sharing exactly where we're staying.
One thing I love about driving in Georgia is that people overtake you all the time, as they do in many countries, but they tend to not do it on the straight. They tend to wait until there's a corner and then they just think, I'm gonna go for it. It's like they want to play a game of chicken or something. So we just spotted a tap. So we're just going to see whether it works. It's next to somebody's house, but because it's on the road, I assume that it's okay to take it.
I think so.
Let's go and find out. It hasn't been that easy finding water because they don't tend to have signage on where the taps are. But it is there, you just got to find it. So we're going to take advantage and have a quick fill up. How's the pressure?
Good pressure.
Oh, good pressure. We like good pressure. Okay, we're all topped up with water. So to Gori we go. One thing's for sure, they're doing so many roadworks and road improvements. I think they're building new tunnels, new bridges, new everything on the whole of this stretch of road here. All the way down this stretch of road, they've got stand after stand of deck chairs. So we're nearly there, we're just taking the next exit town of Gorey is just in the distance there.
So
we've arrived in Gorey.
We've arrived in Gorey. I'm chuckling because Chris just said to me, let's finish off the video, pick up the camera and say where we are. And I was like, where are we? Yeah, it's by Sports Centre. There's a big football pitch over there. Way over there behind those trees there is a fortress. We're going to go and visit that because it's a thing to do. It's a thing to see and do, so we thought we'd do that. So I'm opening up the battery thing because we've talked about this before. We have a dying battery situation, so we're just sourcing some batteries, some leisure batteries the same as these. If you've never seen where our batteries are, they're down there before, so I'm just going to unscrew that, pull them out, take a photograph and start sending it out to see whether we can find the battery.
Good morning. Well, we actually had a really good night's sleep here. I know you can hear building work starting behind me. It was a nice, quiet, dark night. And there's a few guys there that have already started playing football this morning. And today we're going to be heading up to the fortress and having a look around Gorey. And the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. So we could have left the van here and walked into town. It's probably not more than a sort of quarter of a mile, half a mile. But it's quite a quiet location, and whenever we go out filming for the day, we like to leave the van in the most public place possible, just for security purposes. So the first job is we're just going to drive into town and see if we can find a little place to park up that's a bit nearer to the fortress.
We've also seen around town that there are men that sort of like have little parking areas, so we'll try and find one of them. Gamma Jobber, Puri? Yes. One please, thank you.
Voilà.
Madlaba.
Oh, she's back. Look at that. It's still warm. Oh, I love this bread.
I love myself.
Oh.
Honestly, it's so good.
These are like the ones we had up in the mountains. I would be so big if I lived here. Oh. One thing, when you're driving around Gorey, just be aware that they have lots of one-way road systems.
There's no signs.
We just came out of the little road where we were parked up last night, turned left, and then everyone started waving at us, so we just pulled into the side street.
And we thought, they're so friendly, they're all waving at us frantically and doing this. How lovely.
I've just put it into Google Maps. I didn't bother because we were only going 100 meters down the road.
But the good news is a police car with flashing lights was actually
coming towards us.
And we turned off and they turned off and they didn't arrest us. They didn't even say anything.
I know, great. Oh.
Holes in the road, that's the other thing.
Oh my God. Holes in the road. Look at some of these holes in the roads there. Okay, we found a little park up here in town. There's a man with an orange jacket, so I think he's the parking warden with a little stick.
And a stick.
And we're still eating the bread. So that is the fortress at the back there. And just walking along here, past all these little shops selling bits and pieces.
It's a bit bric-a-brac, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like a little flea market. That is the happiest dog in Georgia. Look, getting a little scratch there this morning. He looks very happy. Yeah, nice. The gentleman just said that this is the little path up to the fortress, which starts up here. It's actually a tiered fortress, which apparently is quite unusual. Gonna get the steps in this morning, love?
I said that on Famous Steps. I said we never ever said that before. But we've started saying it in Georgia because there's so many steps.
I'm starting to get a nice view over the town. We were just walking up to the fortress and we saw, they look like I
thought they were berries or something.
Yeah, berries or flower heads, and they're actually all lots of little snails. They're doing some restoration work. Okay, we've made it to the top.
They're doing a lot of restoration work up here in the fortress and also on the steps coming up.
So this is Gori. It's Georgia's 7th largest city. It's located approximately halfway between Tbilisi and Kutaisi.
And it's one of the cities that fed into the Silk Route. It's called Gori after the Georgian word Gora, which means hill.
I think it might be a bit bigger than that one, Marianne. And it was an important stronghold during medieval times. Hence the fact we're stood on top of a fortress. And it's the perfect place to come and get an aerial view over the city. And at the top of the fortress, there's this big, flat, grassed area with an hole. Oh, what's in the hole? Maybe a big well?
The fortress was built in the 7th century. It's open 24 hours a day and it's free to come in.
So the fortress actually has a tiered construction, and the reason for that is there used to be tunnels so the soldiers could get water from the river that runs through the city. And also another thing that Gori is famous for is it is the birthplace of Joseph Stalin. And there's a museum with bits from his life in the city, which we're going to go and check out.
That's where we came up.
That's the way we came up. Yeah, we're parked somewhere down here. And then now we're heading that way. This is a typical look of a Georgian car here. He's been up in the mountains, hit a few potholes. So we're just coming down into the old part of the town, I think. So you've got cobbled streets here, and the houses are lovely. So we were going to buy a cold drink and then come and sit in the park, but the cafe that we actually went to is closed. So we've come down to the main park. We're armed with a croissant and a donut, and we're going to sit here, enjoy the park before we go and check out the museum. Managed to find a little seat in the shade. In fact, there's two opposites. I love these old cars. You see so many of these old cars. So we're just walking through the park now. Pretty sure the big grand building at the end is the Stalin Museum. It's a nice little park with little rose gardens and seating areas if you want to come and watch the world go by and you're in Gori. You found another friend, my sweetness. Oh, look at this one. He's a cutie. Hello. So at the end of the park, they've got this building here. It's actually the house that Stalin was born in, and what they've done is they've created this huge sort of monument at the end of the park. There's the park there, and this monument's been made of his house here. Okay, so we're going to go and try and find the entrance to the museum. Oh.
Thank you. Video no.
Unfortunately, we were unable to film inside or take photographs. However, if you do come to Gori, this is probably one of the most popular attractions here. If you're interested in history and learning about the life of Stalin, then I would definitely recommend coming here. It's a journey you step back into old Soviet times. The museum itself was built in 1957, and the exhibit shows Stalin's life from when he was born up until the end of World War II. The museum doesn't really show his reign of terror. Instead, it focuses on him as a leader and revolutionary. And one thing we can show you is his old train carriage, which is here in the grounds. Look at that. I bet that could tell a few stories. So we're just walking back to Trudy through downtown Gorey here. So just in case you weren't sure of the rules, there is no mugging allowed in the underpass.
No violence.
No violence allowed. So trying to find your way back. The fortress is a great landmark and we're heading towards it, so we're heading in the right direction. Kamajaba. Looks like market day here in the town.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're off. We're going to go and try and find somewhere to park up tonight. This junction, there's actually no guidance on what happens, but it's massive. You just have to kind of go with it. Well, that's the first time I've seen a signpost that says Tehran 1,200 kilometers.
In fact, Chris had to check because we were like, it can't be the Tehran.
Yes, it is the Tehran. We're not far now from Tbilisi, and you can see that the ground has turned very dry. We've gone from a lush green forests to a very dry landscape. Okay, we've turned off the motorway and we're going to try and find somewhere to park up. So this park up will do us. We've actually arrived in the city of Muxketa. I'm not sure if you pronounced that correctly at all. Marianne doesn't think so. But there's a massive car park here. It looks nice and quiet, so we're going to leave today's video there. Make sure you join us on the next video as we show you more of our travels here in wonderful Georgia, and we will see you next time. Oh, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. See you later.